I just received an anonymous tip that my husband has another wife and 2 kids in another country. Where do I go from here? To start, I, 24F, met my husband, I'll call him Jake, 36M, about 4 years ago on Tinder. Jake comes from a different country than I do, but he was my type, and when we started talking, I was blown away by how charming and sweet he was. This version of Jake never went away. He has always been this amazingly charming and sweet person. He's the type of person that when you finish a conversation with him, you feel better about yourself. Just to give you some context, he and I fell in love quickly and got married fast as well. He was very eager to start a family as it gave his citizenship in my country more legitimacy. By our 2nd anniversary, we were married, and I was pregnant with our son. Jake still works in his home country, so every few months, he flies back and stays there with his mother, completes the required work, and then flies back. The rest of the work he can do at home. The last few years with Jake have genuinely been the most amazing years of my life, and that's why the last week feels like such a fever dream. This is hard to explain, but a person on Facebook messaged me last Tuesday, claiming that Jake had been cheating on me and that they had proof. I genuinely didn't believe this person at first and just ignored them. However, curiosity got the better of me, and I messaged back, asking what proof they had. They proceeded to send me a large collection of photos of Jake with another woman and 2 boys. I knew these photos were relatively recent because he made his hair blonde for the Barbie movie, at my request, and has kept it like that ever since. The person told me that the woman in the photo was his wife and the 2 boys were his sons. I obviously didn't want to believe it. I tried to find ways it could be fake, Photoshop, AI, whatever, I don't even know. I think the person blocked me after that, as their account just comes up as Facebook user now when I look at the chats. When I got home, I confronted Jake, and he started crying and confessed that everything was true. He had a wife and 2 sons. The boys looked to be about 13 and 9, but I could be wrong. That's just my best guess, in his home country, and he was still married to the woman. I asked him how he could do this to me, how he could have lied to me for so long. I told him I was going to expose him to the other wife, and he said not to bother because she already knows and supports him. I left and have been staying with my mother ever since. This has been the hardest week of my life, and some days I genuinely haven't wanted to get out of bed. Jake has been texting me, saying that he will break things off with the other wife completely if that's what I wanted, and he texted me saying he thought I wouldn't mind, which genuinely made me sob into my pillow. I have never felt so low. Part of me, stupidly, wants to take him back. The years I had with him were the best I have ever had, but this betrayal is just unimaginable. I don't even know how to explain the hurt I feel. Update 1. Hi everyone, first and foremost, I would like to thank you all for the advice and support you've given me since I posted my original post. It's been over a week since I left to stay with my mother, and this time away from Jake has been so beneficial. It has allowed me to see what is truly important to me. Since I originally posted, Jake and I have been talking, and he let me know that he has broken things off with his other wife. Apparently, it wasn't even a legal marriage thing. He explained to me that when he was a child, his parents and his wife's parents arranged for them to be married. This happened when he was 7 years old, by the way. But it wasn't a legal wedding, it was just a ceremonial thing that linked his family with hers. He said that he never actually loved her but was required to marry her, or his father had to pay so much to his wife's family as punishment, I guess. I felt really bad for him. I could tell he didn't want to be with her at all and was only doing it so his family would be okay. The relationship isn't real on either side, which is what he was trying to tell me when he said his wife supports him. They're only married because they're required to be. I'm so relieved now that he's explained everything to me. He told me he won't be contacting her again, but because of this, we will have to send a small amount of money to the wife's family for the foreseeable future, which of course is not ideal, but it is better than the alternative of him going over to be with her every few months. I wish he had just told me the truth from the start. Since then, I've signed us up for couples therapy, and I'm hopeful that we'll come back stronger. I know this is likely not the result you guys expected or wanted, so many of you were so bloodthirsty for him without even understanding what he was going through. The thing that kind of concerns me now is what the relationship will be like between my son and his other half-siblings. I think I would like to foster a relationship between them if I can. I'm just glad to be back with Jake. I love him so much.